Alright, boys and girls, are you ready for a bit of a rant? Because I got a whole lot more than a bit of one for you. If you can't tell, I'm a little bit pissed off today, and you'll soon see why. So, let me start this by saying I work on a university campus in one of the research labs, so I get to see all of the fun things that go on campus on a daily basis. And I'll go ahead and say yesterday, in a crosswalk right next to one of the main bus stops, there was a girl who got hit by someone on a scooter. I'm not sure exactly what happened because I wasn't looking that direction at the time. I was actually about 20 feet away facing the other direction. But I heard the commotion, turn around and see two guys on a scooter and a girl that was in the crosswalk on the ground because they ran into her. Now, I didn't really go over and help. There were plenty of people already doing that and would have just gotten in the way, so I'm not sure how badly she was hurt, but I don't believe the cops were called, which means there was no report filed, which means the cops aren't aware of, how prevalent this sort of thing is. And this comes into play and why I'm so pissed off. So, I was already in a shit mood because of the usual bullshit at work, being handed 5 things to do with the expectation to get all 5 done. I'll just leave that out. It was just stupid. Let me just leave it at that, okay? So I was already pissed, had a fucking headache, a bad headache all day. And just to let you know, there's probably going to be a lot more cussing than I usually try to avoid unnecessary and too much cussing, but I'm pretty fucking pissed if you can't tell by how hard it is for me to find my words right now. But anyways, warnings out of the way. Oh, and also forgive me if the background video isn't that interesting or fitting because I'm probably just gonna throw something in the background. So, today I was leaving work, already pissed about work, already pissed or just in a bad mood from my headache. The bus I was trying to catch had just pulled up to the bus stop. And this is a big bus stop. It's where at least 3 or 4 buses can stop. It's one of the 3 or 4 main bus hubs on the campus. So I go down to the crosswalk, which is kind of a built up, basically a speed table that they built because it was so dangerous for people to cross the road who were trying to get to the bus there. And I almost walked across the road in a different spot where, you shouldn't really because it's not a crosswalk. But, being the responsible, upstanding young citizen I am, I was like, no, it's dark and whatever. I'll just go to the crosswalk. So I go down to the crosswalk, and right as I get there, someone's coming around the bend on a scooter. Fucker locks eyes with me. Just as I'm about to step out into the crosswalk, he drives by, barely even slows down, probably going too fast to even get over the speed table. Kind of surprised he didn't get thrown off. And if I had stepped into the crosswalk, the fucker would have almost definitely hit me. Now, if he had caught me in just a slightly worse mood, he may have found himself kicked over on the fucking ground, but I've ridden motorcycles for a while, so I know how dangerous it can be. And of course, the dumbass wasn't wearing a helmet, so there's no telling what could have happened to him, and it's not an appropriate response, but that's what I wanted to do, okay? So he almost hit me, and in the meanwhile, a car pulls over into the bike lane, completely blocking the bike lane, and halfway into the normal road lane, waiting to pick up people. Apparently it was an Uber car, and I was trying to get to the bus, so I didn't really pay too much attention to it. I noticed it and I was pissed already because I see that shit all the time on campus. People stopping in the bike lane when they're literally feet from a fucking parking lot. So anyways, I go to the bus and the bus driver ran out to go to the bathroom or something. Totally understandable. So I see, I have a little bit of time. So I look at the car, I mull it over for a few seconds. I'm like, fuck it. I'm sick of it. So I go up to their passenger window. And I yelled into the car. They didn't even bother to put down the window. Hey, this is a bike lane, right? And she actually didn't move, so I'll hand her that. And funny enough, the people she was there to pick up came out literally less than a minute after she drove away. And I even heard them saying, oh, where's she going? She's driving away. But anyways, fucker should have never been there in the first place. Not to mention, there's basically a parking lot on either side of this same bus stop that she could have easily stopped in and would have been just as close as them having to walk across the street to where she was. And let me also mention that in the time she was there, I saw at least one young lady on a bicycle have to get off her bike, walk it around her in the roadway. So it's not like people weren't using the bike lane. This is a college campus where probably the most people using bicycles in the city are. So she drove away, and I guess that's pretty much the story. But it's just fucking mind-blowing to me how ridiculously careless people are with no concern to other people who are trying to use the roadway, including pedestrians, motorcyclists, people on scooters, people on bicycles, anyone. It's just blowing me away. The past 2 days, one per day, I've seen someone do a U-turn on a red light. Both of them, if they had just waited another less than 10 seconds, the light would have changed for them. I watched the light change for the same people that turned on the red light. And earlier this week, I was fucking leaving my driveway, and some asshole comes flying down our subdivision, pulls into one of my neighbor's driveways, stops right at the beginning, and just as I'm going past, throws it into reverse, and without even looking, starts backing up. Sees me, in time to stop, but the fucker was just, I guess he didn't think anyone else used the fucking road. I mean, those houses surely don't have people that drive cars in them. And then the day after that, I saw some fuckers at the first light when you get out of my subdivision. These people had the green left turn arrow, and the fucking idiot old guy in the opposing lane just drives straight across, almost into a head-on collision with one of them. And when one of them is turning and they're about to collide, the person turning left stops, and the idiot going straight just slowly fucking continues. I am so fucking sick of it. There are fucking traffic laws in place for a reason, okay? And it's for the safety of the people using the fucking road. So if you're not gonna follow the fucking traffic laws, don't fucking drive a vehicle, don't ride a bicycle, don't do anything on the road if you're not gonna fucking follow the rules, okay? I guess you could say I'm a little bit fucking triggered, because this is literally people's safety we're talking about. And coming from someone who's been rear-ended on a motorcycle, rear-ended in a car, I've been in multiple accidents. My sister's been in multiple accidents that were not her fault. All from fucking idiots who, I guess, either think they're more important than anyone else on the road or just not fucking paying attention. Because why should you pay attention to the fucking road when you're driving a car? It's not like you sit down behind the wheel of a vehicle, 2 tons or more, 1 ton or more if you're in a small car. It's not like you sit down behind the wheel to drive. No, you sit down behind the fucking wheel to fuck with your phone anymore. Is that what it is? If you think that, you need to fucking cut up your driver's license, sell your car, and get fucked. Okay? I've driven probably more vehicles than most people my age. I've relied on a bicycle, I've relied on the bus, I've relied on my car, I've relied on... well, I guess that's the main modes of transportation. I've relied on pretty much anything to get around before. So maybe I empathize more than some people, but this should just be fucking common sense. I live in a college town where they are pushing bicycle usage and awareness, and there's people fucking parking in bike lanes, swerving all over the road into the bike lanes. And even if I don't ride a bicycle, I fucking worry about the people who follow the rules on bicycles and do want to use that bike lane. It's not an extra bit of the road for fucking cars to use, okay? It's there for a fucking purpose. So the long and short of this is if you're not prepared to drive, don't sit down behind the wheel of a car. Okay, is that a big request? I don't think it is. If you do, again, cut up your fucking license, because I'm sick of it. Oh, and to make things even better, before I left campus, I saw one of the on-campus cops driving the opposite way, and in my rearview mirror, I could see his phone in his fucking hand. So, honestly, the cops aren't even all that much better, and I haven't seen any of them stopping much of this. They'd rather catch people going, 2 miles over the speed limit rather than the people driving through crosswalks. Not to mention they spend all this money on these crosswalks for the same bus stop that I'm talking about, and it's still maybe even worse than it was before. So anyways, I think that pretty much sums up my rant. I was told while I was in college by my group of friends that I would hang out with, that they got a kick out of my rants. No matter how pissed I'd still be, they got a kick out of it. Here's to you, Juan. But you know, maybe you'll get a kick out of this. Maybe you'll learn something. I don't really give a shit. Anyways, have a good night, everybody. Remember to pay attention when you're driving. It could seriously be life or death for someone. This isn't a joke. This isn't an overreaction. This is reality. Don't fuck with your phone when you're driving. Don't drive in the bike lane. Don't park in the bike lane. Parking lots are called parking lots for a fucking reason, so use them. Alright. I may be preaching the choir because I hope the people who like me are too smart to, or at least situationally aware enough to not do this shit, but who knows? I don't know. Fuck. I'm pissed. Whatever. Have a good night.
Speed.